Liborous, the way it is now looks to me that we have a hand in all of this, Nigerians and even government inclusive, because if you look at it now critically well, to the extent that we have Nigerians who want some kind of credit facilities from banks, they don't get them because they are Nigerians, and a non-Nigerian comes before you and you give that kind of facility to that same individual. And we also have Nigerians who sit there as board chairmen or members of the board, and at the end of the day they will not let anyone follow through and through the local content policy of the government. Now that we have done all of this, because I remember when we discussed this, we were not speaking from the government point of view. When we raised this issue here months ago on Sunrise Daily, now we're having the government coming to say this is the way it should go. Did you see, because I'm trying to go back to what Chamberlain asked, that I have not had satisfactory answer from you. Did you see any kind of move from the government when the minister spoke and the Labour minister also spoke? Did you see any kind of move? Could be in their body language, in their eyes, that they'll get ready to follow this through and through, implementation-wise?
First and foremost, I must give kudos to you guys for raising this issue, because immediately I learned of the conference, I said kudos to channels, because I know this matter was first raised in channels, local content, in telecoms, in power, and the one that succeeded in the oil and gas sector. And probably, you know, that somebody somewhere now sat down after listening to the program like, look, we really need to do something about this. And from the way the minister spoke passionately, because after this the address of the man from the NIPC, that their job is to protect foreign investors, bring in foreign investors, and he suggested that we should even eradicate quotas, expatriate quota, and allow everybody to come in. I listened to the response of the minister, and he was not too happy with that statement. That, look, you cannot just throw your doors and windows open because you hairdressers and all comers will just join in because you want foreign investors. Foreign investment should, like I said, and I've consistently maintained, should be mutually beneficial. A situation where it gradually erodes, you know, local companies and ease out local companies, a situation where they come to take over your in-service jobs. Let me give you an example. You're seated here now, you've been doing this job over time, and then all of a sudden channels feels, oh, Chamberlain, excuse me, Suleiman and co, we need to bring in foreigners to handle these so that you understudy them. What will you be understudying the foreigner for? Because it's a job you're good at, you've been doing. And that's the same thing that is happening in all other sectors in the name of direct foreign investment.
You see,
and so what the ministry is doing now, I think it's a welcome development. I think it's a response to the yearnings and aspirations of Nigerians that, look, we truly need, if we need to correct this, let's first and foremost change the system of applying for this expatriate quota. Let's know the genuine ones, you know, from the fake ones. There was let me tell you one very funny scenario. There was one day inside Lagos Island, I saw two Chinese men. I just walked up to them. I said, I put my hand in my pocket. I said, immigration papers, and the man started begging me.
You don't say.
I'm telling you this. Started begging me. You know.
So it goes back to what I just asked you, because it looks like well, the authorities, some government officials, well, are culpable in all of this.
Yes, I agree with you, because of the corruption in the land, and partly also because we don't have jobs. There are no jobs, and the jobs, the little ones we have, are not secure. So the moment you're there, you want to grab what, you know, you not just what you can eat today, but you want to keep for your generations.
And that's what brings me to the question: shouldn't we have an independent regulatory body that should be able to enforce this rule?
No, that's why I told you that some of these suggestions are that we should have, you know, apart from this regulatory body, we should have another channel, independent. You can call it a committee, that you can channel some of these grievances to, and that they will be looked at immediately, and also that there should be a synergy, collaboration between all the some of the recognized organizations like Nigerian Society of Engineers, the Korean and the rest, that if, for example, a man is applying to be, because in the oil and gas it is easy to track because you have unions. In the telecom, it is not that easy because there are no unions. They are not allowed to unionize. So in the telecom sector...
And Labour is aware of this?
They are aware. They are aware. In the telecom sector, In oil and gas, what happens the moment there was a time they brought in welders, and Nupeng kicked against it seriously, that you cannot bring in welders into country as experts. We have welders here. We have people that can do the job.
They got visas and everything.
Exactly, you know. And so that you should have this, some of these unions should be carried along. So the moment you are granting an expatriate quota, there should be a section where they will be able to at least review, do
you agree with those who suggest that in order for this policy of government to be properly or further appreciated, government has got to come up with a massive job creation program, because this might just be a drop in the ocean, given the unemployment rate out there.
To me, I've never been an apologist of the government, but to me, with this, let's start from somewhere. If this is properly carried along, we would get somewhere. If we do it in all sectors of our economy, gradually we'll be creating jobs. And then we should also be able to encourage local, we're talking about small and medium scale businesses, when we allow foreigners to come kill
the issue and compete is valid. With them. They don't have access to credit.
Yes.
Unless you front with somebody, that's when you
that's where I'm coming. That's why I'm saying, if government is talking about small and medium scale businesses, they should have access to credit. And then they should be, apart from having access to credit, because these people are coming with loans from that company, and then they give you bogus figures that have got bogus capacities. And so these small companies should be protected. Government should do everything humanly possible to protect these small and medium companies to compete in a globalized economy. And you cannot compete if you're not given the opportunity in your own country to do the job.
You know, all of this development shouldn't have a ripple effect on our educational system. Now, let me explain.
No, I agree. I agree with you.
You know, because these companies that employ expatriates will tell you that if I employ an average Nigerian, especially the one who just got out of school, just graduated, they won't be able to. They do not have that. They do not feel responsible to deliver. They need to train and train and train.
Sorry. The essence of employing you, Chamberlain just came back. There was a time I came here, Chamberlain went on training. It's not because he's not good at what he's doing. Life is dynamic. And sometimes you tell me, I employed a Nigerian engineer, he cannot speak English. What has an engineer got to do with English? You employ a German engineer, he can't speak English. You employ a Chinese engineer, he can't speak English. So sometimes some of this, I agree with you that the quality of education has dropped drastically, but also in some cases, what they are given in school is just general knowledge. So you need to train them, to specialize them. Even in law, you're given the general knowledge, you are taught all the subject. If you now want to specialize in labor matters, you need to train yourself in labor laws.
Maybe we should put it in the laws, when they're being employed.
A situation where it's easy for them to just say, look, we know there are areas where we have skills deficiency, but then in the areas where we know we have capable hands, we have the technical expertise. In some cases, I tell you, some of these experts you bring, they bring them in here. They are actually understudying the Nigerians that are working there.
So the reverse is the case.